the same thing.
Yeah.
You're not.
All right, guys. Welcome. We have been playing with an audio issue, so I hope you can hear me well. If not, please tell me right away, and we can see if we can try to reset stuff and fix that. Um, that's why Andrew's got the headphones on, so he can hear me a bit better. We don't know if it's his laptop, my
So
mic. We're not quite sure. So just let me know. But Andrew, I'm loving the new background. The shop spot.
yeah, it's turning out pretty good. The shop's pretty well done there now. The bar's in.
Oh, how come when we went live, we're starting to break up?
It spins every once in a while there now.
As soon as we go live, you start getting choppy. Why's that? Time in. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know. I don't
Audio
know.
sucks. That is not good. Oh boy. Hello, Larry and Robin. Low volume. What is going on here? Why are we low volume? Sorry, guys. I don't get why we are low. How about now? Does that work better now? I did.
You know, like on my end of it, Kev sounds really staticky. How is he for everybody else?
This is good. Huh. I can't crank it up. Can't crank it up. Let me. Staticky. Wow. This is bad.
Can you guys hear me all right though? Not a whole lot, James. You guys can hear me just fine though. Well, that's good. At least I sound all right. I don't know what was going on with Kev there. It was kind of all static on his end. Hopefully, get your figured out before too long.
All right, I'm back. I don't know how well this is going to work.
So,
How about now? Are we any better?
it's louder but more staticky.
Oh. How about now?
That's
I don't know. I've unplugged stuff. I plug it back in. I don't get what.
I wonder if it's not like your connection to the internet or not or something. I don't know. Like, it seems to be cutting in and out. Mine seems to be pretty good. I think. Like I'm out of my shop, but it's normally good out here. Normally have pretty good Wi-Fi. So
I don't like I'm plugged directly in. Like I should be.
we just have to hold the beer up in the right area, and then that way we might get reception.
Yeah, I tried different mic out, but I don't think I have. I. This doesn't shut it off. Shoot.
He's gone again. That's too bad, guys. Hopefully we can get this going anyways. Well, what's everybody else up to? Had a good day today. I was over at Jackson and Ash at a karate tournament today. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And we were down in Brockville. Brockville's a pretty nice town anyways, but they did their katas and they did all that stuff. And they had a red man suit. So if anybody's seen a red man suit, that's a pretty cool a pretty cool thing to see. They sort of like dressing a guy up in goalie equipment. They let the kids beat the snot out of him. Jackson got the gold medal in it, and Ashton got the silver medal in it. So I think that might be all dad on that end. If a dad wrestles with the boys quite a bit, they've been doing the karate, been doing jiu-jitsu, and it was Jack's birthday today. So I just finished up a whole pile of birthday cake, and we ended up getting him a new bedroom. He was sleeping with Ash with his little brother there, and he wanted a new room for his birthday. So we had Gus as the baby's room, so we switched him over, and Jack's in the new bedroom. He's got a new bed and everything, so he's pretty excited about that. We're gonna have a party here tomorrow for him. That should be really good. We have a bunch of new products coming up at eastonmade too. If you guys haven't been following along or not, the 40C is coming along really, really well. We have a handful of little loose ends we got to tie up on it. We can't talk a whole lot about it. We've been told to kind of be quiet about what's going on there. We're hoping to get maybe a patent or two on what's going on with it. It's going to run real nice, and there's nothing that's going to run quite like it in North America, especially for the price point and what you're going to be paying for it. We have a couple of new products too. We have a bundling machine that we're working on right now. They've got it together. We should be hanging with their paint there maybe Thursday or Friday. So we're going to put it together next week, and it's going to be a really nice setup. So I think most of the bundlers out there in the market have like a motor and a belt on them. So the bundler we have, it is a motor with a direct gear drive on, and there's just going to be short chain around it. So there shouldn't be a whole lot to go wrong with belts and pulleys on it. Turned out to be a real nice setup anyways. And then we have a bunch of grapples we're making right now too. We're making a large skid steer grapple, which will hold about half a face cord of wood. So two buckets should get you a face cord of wood anyways. Heard that nothing runs like a deer. Well, now it'd be nothing runs like a 40C. Well, James, it might be pretty close. You never know. That may be the case with the 40C. It's incredibly fast, and it's really easy to run. Like it is a nice setup. Bert's custom cut. Hey, Andrew, I wore my eastonmade sweatshirt on my way to Hawaii. I hope he did. I got a really good kick out of that shirt, Bert. That was that made my day. They were on. If you watch Chris in the Woodyard with a couple of guys talking about the different eastonmade products, everybody was all decked out in eastonmade stuff, and Bert had his Wolfridge sweater on. So you got a pretty good kick out of that. I made sure I got Bert down a proper eastonmade sweater, and I even signed it myself for him. So yeah, I seen the order come in for the 324 the other day, Ken. I was pretty excited to see you getting one anyways. Yeah, you'll be really happy with it. It works. They work really nice. They are a really good little unit. Jake from Dude Ranch got his last week. He's been running a wee bit, getting some feedback on it. Works nice. If you guys are looking for a small skid steer splitter, it's the way that it's set up, having the wedge move instead of the pusher. It really makes it easy to run. Like you don't need to be a terribly good operator. I have a video coming out with me running on the JCB. I was hoping to have it uploaded today, but my internet at the house isn't working very good. So it should be up probably Monday or Tuesday night. But you have a lot of control over the block of wood, and it's really fast, especially if you put it on a larger skid steer. You have all the flow there, so it's pretty quick. William Klein had a question about mini splitter mounts with Mini splitters with an excavator mount. We're working on that. The hard thing with the excavators is there's so many different quick attaches on it. So in order to accommodate everybody and to have everything that we need to have on that, it's really, really difficult to do that and make sure that it works on everything. So that's what we're kind of working through with that. Hopefully we can do it, because if you can have one of these splitters on a mini excavator, it's going to work really, really nice. You're going to be able to pick up the big blocks, move them around. You're going to be able to sling them over to where the splitter is, and you're going to be able to bust them up. It's going to be a really, really nice setup anyways. But again, the mini excavator, there's so many different mounts and so many different quick attaches to be able to get it. Where with skid steers and front-end loaders, there's only a handful of them. We have your normal skid steer mount. We have the mini skid steer mount. We have a John Deere mount. We had one guy order one for his John Deere tractor, so we have a John Deere mount, and we're going to do an Avant loader mount. So there's 4 of them for more or less skid steer applications or front-end loader applications. I'm going to try out the 324 on my Kubota, on my LX or L6060. So it's a compact tractor, biggest one Kubota makes. So it's kind of before you go into the M series, I think. So I'm going to try it out on there. I had it on there the other day. The problem that I found with it was visibility. Like obviously with a tractor, you have the big hood in front of you, so you can't see the wedge near as well. If you're doing really big blocks, it worked out really nice because you could see the block wood before you move up to it. So it was fairly good on that end. Where when you got down to the smaller pieces, it got a little bit trickier. So what we're doing is we actually have the mount on. We have the splitter mounted to the skid steer plate, but there's different holes for it. So depending on what application you have, whether it be for a skid steer or for a tractor, a compact tractor, you'll be able to shift it over, and then hopefully it'll be on the outside of your hood on your compact tractor. So you should be able to have pretty good luck with that. And if somebody doesn't happen to have remotes on the front of their tractor, a third function, you should be able to run out the remotes on the back and just run the lines under. So we're hoping to get like a BX or an L series Kubota, a smaller L series to try that out on. The local Kubota dealer is pretty good to me, so hopefully they'll be able to get one over. If not, I'll try and rent one to try that out, because there's so many guys that have an application for that. So that's what we're hoping to do. On that front anyways. So who else is in here? Bert's in here. William Klein's in here. Dickard with Dave's in here. Jeffrey Walden, he's excited to see that bundler. The bundler is going to be really nice. I'm excited about that, because the other bundlers that I've seen have had like pulley systems on. They've been fairly long belts and stuff like that. So there's obviously a wear factor with that, where the one that we have, it's just a small motor, gear reduction on it. It should be a really nice setup. Owen, our co-op, he's our co-op guy from the University of Waterloo. He's been really, really great. He's been a fantastic young man to work with. So he's been helping us out on that end, and that's why you've seen more new products come out, because we have the resources now to do that. Unfortunately, we're going to be losing Owen here next month. He's actually going back to the University of Waterloo. I'm hoping I can get him back for the next semester, and hopefully get him to stay with eastonmade. He fits in pretty good. He's just a really, really nice guy. His uncle works for us, Jim. He runs the maintenance end of it and runs a lot of the production for us now. Jim does. So, and Jim's a super nice guy. We're lucky to have a great team of people. So that's the plan on that. Buck and firewood, I can see myself ripping lines off, if not the cylinder itself. Yeah, we had a couple of comments on that, especially on Jake's channel. I don't think you're going to run into too many issues with it. I'm pretty hard on things, and with me running it, it's not too bad. The cylinder itself's bolted in fairly solid. The cylinder itself's likely not going to move. In the way that it's set up, if you have something where you know the fittings are going to be exposed, you can rotate that right back around and have the fittings back in toward you. So I don't think you'll likely run into too many issues with it. We've thought about putting a guard over top of the cylinder to protect all that stuff. The problem that I see with that is building a guard heavy enough that's actually going to protect the cylinder and not just rip itself off. So there's kind of two sides to that knife on there. I definitely don't want somebody ripping the guard off. If they rip the guard off, they're probably going to rip the cylinder off anyways. But I think for most applications, most people running it, as long as they're a half decent operator, conscious of what they're doing, I think it's a really good value. I think right now we have them listed for $2,500 US shipped anywhere within Canada in the United States. So that is a really, really good price with that. The reason we were able to do that with that mini skid steer splitter is it's small enough we can put it on a skid, which is really, really nice because it's we can just ship it LTL the same as you would ship anything else. That's why we don't ship the splitters LTL, just because when we've done that in the past, we have so many issues with them getting to a different warehouse and the splitters getting beat up, or the next truck not taken, or the skids falling apart. And we've done them just about everywhere. We've even gone as far as building like a full steel skid, and guys still having a really difficult time. When you get into building a skid that heavy that actually holds a wood splitter, the cost offset by the time you build the skid's almost the same as shipping on a truck that's dedicated. So what else do we got here? Going to run my 324 on my John Deere 110 TLB. Well, yours is the one that we're building for the John Deere then, Ken. That sounds just about right. Jeff's wondering if I would ever make the MS324 vertical. I don't know if I would. I don't know if there'd be a really big advantage of when it's vertical. It's essentially an axis. It's literally, if we took the top half of the axis and lopped it off, that's what the MS324 is. In most applications, you're not going to have as much tonnage as the axis, just simply because we run the axis at a really high pressure. We run at 4,000 psi, where most small tractors, skid steers, and stuff are running around 2,800, 3,000 psi. Some will run a little bit anyways. So I don't know what's going on there, Kev. Is that Mark Joannis down in Washington? Is he in Washington, D.C. right now? I was wondering if you were making it down there, Mark. Mark's heading down to Virginia right now. He's going to go on a bit of a holiday and talk to a couple of guys. Or what information on Easton. Mark Joannis is our processor salesman. Him and Jeff Ormiston. Those guys can help you out on that end of it and get you the information you need. So Dick's in here now. Videos by Al. James Bainton is wondering if the saw blade is moving behind me. It certainly is. It's got a little motor on me. Guys, next time you're by, James, you have to stop by and check out the shop here. The guys did an amazing, amazing job of this bar. There's all sorts of little neat tidbits and pieces in it, like up on that side, this side, that side. That's an ultra wedge, and that there is a wedge off of a 1222. If you look at the sign behind me here, it's actually got a seagull in here for the apostrophe. We always teased Gage, that designer, about seagulls. If you've ever gone onto YouTube, and you got to watch the seagull videos. So Gage has actually watched the seagull videos in its entirety, I think, but he knows quite a bit about the seagull videos, and it's literally a bunch of seagulls sitting outside of this guy's apartment, but they're talking. He's doing like a voiceover on, and they're talking about whatever they're getting. And it's pretty comical, especially as Gage knows it so well. And if you ever met Gage, he's a very, very quiet guy, but he's so comical. He's just so fun to be around, and he's got a level of genius that the
Is my mic working yet? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you a little bit there now, Kev. It's still fuzzy though. Like, I don't know why it's fuzzy.
couldn't tell you. I don't know why. I'm trying to talk as close into the mic as I can. Does that help any?
Wonder if he stopped by if there'd be taste testing on the shelf. I have a bit of everything here for everybody. The only thing I don't have is I don't have a really good bourbon for Brad. I've got good scotch. I've got decent tequila. I've got rum. I've got just about all of it here that you would ever possibly need. I don't drink any of it, which is kind of the odd part of that. But if anybody wants to come and have a good time, it's all here anyways. So.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. It's the same audio I use every single time. I haven't changed nothing. Now it just does not want to work to me.
Fire would hold against your neck, Kev. Well, Ruben, I've got lots of coffee too. So if you like that stuff, you just stop by. I've normally always got a pot on. I can make some for you if I don't. So. Bert, I do have some bourbon, but it's wild turkey. I don't know if it's terribly good bourbon or not. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I don't normally get into that stuff myself. So yeah, Jeff's wondering if the golf simulator is still in front. So the golf simulator, I'm looking at it right now from this way. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I haven't got it on there right now. I've got my projector. I have a really nice projector for it, but we're gonna send it out to Bang Q to get her fixed up.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'm trying to get the doctor to come up.
You just got me through a static, dude. I don't know what's going on there. Well, hopefully Kev gets that sorted out. That kind of sucks. He's the best part of this. He keeps me going. He keeps feeding me all night. I can go all night as long as somebody's feeding me. Jake's wondering where does the number 324 come from. So it's a 3-inch bore cylinder. It's a 24-inch stroke, much like our other skid steer splitters, a 424 and 524. The 424 is a 4-inch cylinder, 24-inch stroke. And the 524 is a 5-inch cylinder, 24-inch stroke. So that's we pretty well have the Axis, which is a 324, 1222, which is the 424, and the 2228, which is a 524. So that's how that is all set up on that end of it. So it's just more or less different tonnages. I think that 324 though, I think that's something that most people will be probably more inclined to purchase. It's a lot nicer machine to operate. Just the way it functions with having the wedge move itself rather than the pusher. It doesn't push the wood away from you when you split. So it's really nice if you want to have controlled splits. Obviously, skid steer splitter isn't the best way to do that. However, with this, you can actually legitimately probably make half decent firewood with it anyways. So James is wondering about a production update. We are getting caught up. We had a bit of a hole there at the end of March that we filled up. Probably 6 to 8 weeks again. We were telling guys like a couple of weeks that filled up really, really quick. And then we still have a couple of slots open for shows too. So if anybody wants to save the freight on a machine, we have a couple of machines left to go down to Ohio Woodburner's open house there that he's doing in May. And then Mark Joannis is actually going to be going down to the Hoosier Firewood Hysteria So Mark's going to bring a load of splitters down there. I think he's got a handful of splitters left on there. So if you want to get a hold of Mark for those ones too, that would be great too. And then same as processor, we have a couple of processors available for shows where guys can save the freight on them. So that'll be a good opportunity for somebody to save the freight. And Mark's another really cool thing too is Mark's put a lot of work into some financing stuff here the last week or two, and we think we might actually be able to offer a processor at a very reduced interest rate. That's been a huge hindrance for people right now as the interest rates have gone up. The money's gotten expensive to borrow, so he's negotiated some terms with some finance companies there. We have a couple that have come to good terms with us. So we might be like 2.5%, 3.5% on a firewood processor. So if you are interested in that, that will be something that's hopefully we're going to implement in the next 3 or 4 weeks, month maybe. For you people that are interested in buying a processor, we will have a really, really good interest rate on it that you're not likely going to be able to get from a bank or anywhere else. So that's really good. It'd be like an OEM interest rate. So that's exciting. Bert's wondering if I got the splitter on a tractor yet. Yes, I have. I put it on my tractor. I have an L6060 Kubota, so like a large compact tractor from Kubota. And it works really well. The hardest part about having it on the tractor is visibility. You know yourself, Bert, from running tractors and stuff, it's really hard to see up over that hood. So what we've done is we've built it with two separate. You bolt the splitter to the actual skid steer plate, so you can move it one way or the other depending on whether you're going to run it on a skid steer or on a tractor. So when you have it on the tractor, you can offset it so you can see it through your loader then. So that'll be really, really nice to have on that end of it, especially for guys that have compact tractors. There's so many guys that have small tractors that would be so handy for them to have it for really big grounds. They'll be able to pick them up and move them easily and get into their splitter or put them in their boiler anyways. So Circle B, Minnesota. Late to the party with free shipping from the MS324. Yes, the MS324 is free shipping. We can put it on a small skid and ship it LTL so that we can get a really, really good freight quote on that and get them out to guys. So we are doing free shipping on the 324s. And you'll likely see that on the other products we're going to come out with. Like we have the bundler coming out. It's likely going to be free shipping. And then the grapples, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do them free shipping too. So the splitters are still hard because we ship them on a truck. We ship them on a flatbed, and that is the safest, most convenient, easiest way we've found to ship them. If we ship them LTL, they don't work well. Back River Fire. People can tell the bank the loan is for a piece of agriculture, but firewood machines are under agriculture. That would give them a big interest discount. Yeah, a lot of guys go for farm credit. Like if guys have farm credit or have a farm license, a lot of them will do that. Again, I think we're still going to be able to beat that rate fairly significantly. So that's what we're hoping for. Mike Morgan's on here. Get some mini X mounts on that skid steer splitter. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Mike. I don't know the different mini excavator mounts. That's the only hard part that I think we're going to find with that is just making mounts for everything. I have a Kubota. I have a 57 Kubota that Dad has, so I have that at my disposal. I just want to make sure before I get into that, I kind of cover all my bases on it because it would be so handy on a mini excavator. That I think Mike's got a split fire on his mini excavator. It would work awesome on there. It'd be really, really handy to do that. I just have to figure out how to do that. That's something we're going to invest a little time in the next little bit, anyways. What else we got going on here? Yeah, Bert, that is the issue with the tractor. Like if you put that mini skid steer on a tractor, visibility sucks. And I wasn't sure when we get a smaller tractor, I might try it on a smaller tractor, but I think even then you're going to have a hard time seeing it. So with the offset design on it, you'll be able to see through the loader and see what's going on with it. And I think for most tractors, it's going to be fine. The only thing I'm worried about is if it's got too heavy of a block, if it's going to want to tip the tractor, but I don't think it will. The the mini splitter. The mini splitter doesn't weigh very much, about 400 pounds on its own. So you can pick up a fairly large block and still be under the load capacity on most small tractors. I think even the small ones are 1,000, 1,100 pounds of the pins. So I think we should be in pretty good shape for that anyways. Ruben has a Bobcat X exchange plate if you can use it to measure up and get fitted. Yeah, and again, guys, it's just a matter of me doing some research on the mini excavators. I've never got into that. I've never worked with them. So I'm very, very unfamiliar with them. I really don't know it. Until I have solid numbers and know what's going on there, I don't want to go ahead and market and sell it. I want to make sure that, one, I can build one for every popular machine. And two, I want to make sure it's going to fit when we're done with it, because that's kind of the other deal there too. Like, we can get a lot of drawings and a lot of information online, but the problem with that is we got to make sure it's going to fit, especially when it gets to a customer. Less headaches I can have on the other end of when somebody gets something. That's kind of my main goal here. So Circle B Minnesota's calling Jerry Monday. Give him a call. Jerry will fix it right up. We have a bunch of them going through production right now. We're building these in batches. It's kind of the first time we've built machines themselves in batches. Normally we would build them as they come up. And as we progress here, I think you'll see us doing that more, as we'll actually be building machines in batches rather on an individual basis. And hopefully that'll get our cost down, our lead time down, and be able to get you guys a better price, or at least something that's going to stay the same and stay consistent anyways. Just wondering about a 25 horsepower subcompact tractor. I'm curious about that too. I'm going to see if I can't get my hands on one and see how it's going to work. Heath and Rachel are trying to tune in Florida there in spring break. I almost have no signal there. Well, Florida should be really nice right now. I know we had a blast when we were in Florida. It was really, really nice. We're over by Fort Myers. The place was Cape Coral, so the western side of Fort Myers, where we were. Had a really good time down there. So Mike's saying, yeah, I need one flat plate on the splitter. Then you just buy mounts for each manufacturer, bolt right to the plate. At least your splitters won't have to change and they will stay the same. So Mike, on that note, would you go into your local dealership and buy the mounts to match up to the plate? That was one thing. That was one thing that I've seen before, and I wasn't quite sure how popular that was or what the deal on that was. Because we could literally just weld a plate onto it, and then have whoever's mount bolt to it. They'd have to buy a mount separately. I think that would work. I just don't know how that kind of all falls together. Again, I've never worked with the excavators a whole lot. I've never put a whole lot of thought into it, but that was one thing that we kind of explored. If that would be the reasonable way to do that, because it would be really nice on a mini excavator. I think we'd have a pile of people want to buy them for that, and it would be really, really handy for busting down those big rounds. He said that they left 6 inches of snow in Michigan. He said, this is sort of nice. I bet you it snowed today. It's been kind of cold this week here. It's been really cold. We've been having the wind come out of the northwest, and it's been really, really nasty here. I have a whole pile of videos and stuff I want to get done. Like the next video is going to be really cool, or the next couple of videos are going to be really cool, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We've got an electric axis there. There's 220 single phase, so there's going to be lots of people. We've had lots of people ask about having a single phase splitter. You need a fairly large breaker for it. You need about 100 amp breaker for it, but we can do it single phase. And then we actually have a pivoting conveyor on the axis now, which is going to be standard equipment going forward. So it's a really nice setup. John did a really nice job on it. You can almost push it with your finger; it moves that smoothly. So he did a really great job on that. And then the log lift on the axis is another thing we've had a lot of comments, a lot of questions on. So it is a floating log lift, much the same as what you would see on our other splitters, same as like our horizontal splitters. So it's a floating log lift. So if you do need to move the splitter down the road, you don't need to unhook the pin anymore. You just lift it up and it goes over. So that's something that'll be really, really nice, really convenient for a lot of people too. So that's we kind of got to keep up with the times. I got to say, Chris Wolf, those guys did an awesome job on that vertical splitter. So we got to we got to keep up with the Joneses at the end of the street, anyways. So that's what we're trying to do. So, William Klein, I think the quick touch plate for the 057 is $150. Videos by Al. If you had the bolt-on option, it would improve resale. Yeah, this is true. Like you'd be able to sell it to anybody then, Al. That's a really good idea. Jake is wondering if we were planning any other new products. Yeah, at some point. Like right now, like the last couple of years, we've spent a pile of time getting our process straightened out and streamlined internally that we can build products at a reasonable and fair price, and still make money at it. So now that we have that structure in place, we know what we need to do there. You'll start to see us come out with other products for the firewood industry, and we've started to push the Stonemaker stuff a whole lot more. If any of you guys have followed along with Stonemaker, we took the machine off the website. We have it just through the Stonemaker website now, and we're starting to push that end of it kind of as a separate business altogether now. So that's something that's been taking up a little bit of focus lately too. So the Bionic Life is here. Good evening, Andrew. Thanks for coming out. It's good to have you out here. James Bain got 8 to 10 inches of snow in Toronto today. Got a snowblower out for the first time this winter. You guys got a lot more snow than we did, James. It was we went to Brockville today for the karate tournament, and it was there was more snow in Brockville than there was here, which is really odd. Normally, when we get down towards the St. Lawrence Seaway, there we have way less snow. And then as soon as you cross the St. Lawrence and start heading into Watertown, you start to get a lot more snow. So it's kind of funny how that works out there. Dan's House of Smoking Outdoors, wondering if we run the new splitter on the small compact tractor. Yeah, we have. It's just a visibility thing right now. We're going to shift the plate over, and you should be able to see it fairly well anyways. Mark said he went through Central. He went through Syracuse today. There was more snow there than through Central Ontario. That snow belt between Watertown and Syracuse is a really cool thing to see, especially especially through the wintertime. It's you don't realize how much it snows there and how fast it snows until you've seen that in person. I've been caught in a couple of storms going through there, and it's that's the most snow I've ever seen in a short amount of time. It's true there. It's pretty cool to see. Yeah, Buck and Firewood probably doesn't have a whole lot of snow up in Espanola anymore. It's all melted up there. Buckin has it. It's he's quite a ways further north than I am too. He's probably 6 or 7 hours north of me from where I am. So normally, if you're gonna get snow, that's where it will be, is up in that area, anyways. Dan's House of Smoking Outdoors. We'll have a video of it up probably another week or two. I think they're just sending it through production right now, so I should have my hands on it next week at some point. I don't want to have a video, but as soon as I get the opportunity to do that, I will. And it'll be on my L66. So it's a little bit larger tractor, but it should give everybody a pretty good idea of visibility and how it runs anyways. The hardest part with the tractor too, that I found, is with a skid steer, you can shift it sideways to line it up really easy, where with a tractor, you always have to move forward or backwards in order for it to move one way or the other. So it's a little bit more cumbersome, but it still works. It still works well. You still get to be able to break down those big blocks anyways. Old guy Firewood. Dick says, hearing about all this snow makes me appreciate being in North Carolina. I bet you. I bet you it does. Kevin from Bionic Life says, we went to dinner in Lake Erie last night, just north of I-90. Was Light Furies a mile south of I-90 was some of the biggest snowflakes I've ever seen. Yeah, Kevin will be right in the middle of maple syrup season right now too, I'd imagine. We've got we had a pretty good run of sap there a couple of weeks ago, and then this week the sap should run fairly good here this coming week. we've been up to my wife's family has a sugar camp up the road here. We brought the kids out the couple of days there and gathered some sap and split some wood up there. And I've got three or I think I've even got 3 or 4 taps. I think I got 4 taps in around the yard. I have a couple of big maples in the yard, and we've been it's been kind of a fun project. We've just been boiling the sap on the stove, but the boys are pretty excited to get their own maple syrup out of their own maple trees, anyways. So we've been doing that the last little bit, and it's been going pretty good actually. I've got an induction top stove. So if you know what an induction top stove is, it's like a magnetic heater, I guess is how it works. It heats the pot instead of the element, but it works really, really well for boiling anything. You can control the temperature really easily with it, but it works especially well for doing sap maple syrup. It didn't take anywhere near as long as I thought it would. He says snow is good for deer hunting. That's about it. You're right. It's always exciting when you see snow in November. That's for sure. Especially out chasing deer around. It makes it a whole lot easier to know where they've been and where they're going. It's always fun to say that. Kevin from Bionic Life says the season ended abruptly here about 2 weeks ago for maple syrup. That's too bad. I know they do quite a bit of it there. So. And he said Mug canceled our syrup season this year. Well, Heath, you make sure you tell Rachel I said hello too. Big hugs, eh? James says we got about 1,500 liters of sap boiled down last weekend up north. That's doing pretty good, James. That's quite a bit of it. That's a pretty good run anyways. So I don't know if we're going to get Kevin back up on here. I don't know. He's his audio wasn't working good. That's too bad. It's always fun to have Kev here. So I don't know what went wrong there. I got on fairly late. I got on probably like 7:58. So I didn't give him much of a chance to get rolling with it. Anyways, like I said, we had Jack's birthday today, so I was having some birthday cake before I came out here. So I wanted to make sure I got that. I wanted to make sure I had some cake, anyways. Mike's wondering if Kev fell asleep. He might have fallen asleep by now. You never know. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's creeping up on my bedtime, anyways. Hugs and sniff. Rachel says you're a great hugger. I think Jeremy's a better hugger than I am. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. Bert's heading out. He may lose reception soon, so everyone have a good weekend. Thanks for coming out, Bert. We appreciate you coming out. I really hope you enjoy your Easton-made sweater and then wear it proudly. Hopefully. Yeah. I don't know how many people are in here. How many people have we got in here right now, guys? I haven't got it pulled up. Where'd these go? There you are. 48 people in here. Well, guys, I might call her a night anyways. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. But there's Shibe's on there now. Good to see Shibe. What's going on down in PA, Shibe? What's happening down your neck of the woods? I seen some boxwood stuff the other day doing some oak. That was kind of nice seeing some roadside logging too. There seemed to be a lot of that going on down there too. It's nice to have the longer days for sure. I know myself. I don't like I really hate that time change. Anyways, it's never fun. So. B. Williams says someone beat Andrew in the 24D at the face card challenge. I did see that actually. I did see a couple of guys. Where the hell is it? Metcalf Firewood. If you haven't checked out Metcalf Firewood yet, go over and check out Metcalf Firewood. I think those lads did actually beat me, and I think it might have been by quite a bit, and they were using an axe doing it. It's a pretty cool video. I think that'll be a fun channel to watch as they grow, because they look like they are a pile of. Those guys look like they're a pile of fun. And Metcalf's down on the other end of the city for me. I'm on one side of Ottawa. Metcalf is on the other side of it, and it's a lot. It's a lot of fun down in that area too, because there's a lot of French-speaking Canadians on that end of it, and they know how to have a lot of fun. Those guys, they're real Valley boys down there, so they're always entertaining. So if you haven't checked out Metcalf Fired, make sure you go and do that. That's a lot of fun.
Well, maybe I got things figured out here now.
There's Skidder Kev right there. You're loud and clear.
Yeah.
I was almost ready to give up on you, Kev.
I'm like, I heard you. Well, I'm going to leave. I'm like, no, I'm working on it. And Michael Hill, thank you very much for that idea. He's like, can you just use your phone? I'm like, well, I got to log out. I don't want to do that. I'm like, I emailed myself the link, and I just came on as another guest. So I got everything going on.
I guess that works out, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's really.
What a pain, but I'm glad everybody can hear me now. So Michael Hill, thank you. I was ready. Well, when I'm done, I'm going to go crush that mic because I've had enough of that.
You give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
So sorry about that guys. It's one of those. It works every time, and then all of a sudden, boom, it doesn't work. This is what we deal with all the time. And yeah, hardworking man. I finally showed up to my own live stream. It was crazy. Andrew did an awesome job. He answered like every question already, so it's kind of weird. I can't listen. I can't listen with my earpiece, so I got to listen through my phone. That's kind of a pain, but the kids are sound asleep, so they won't hear me. Why am I sweating? Stomping on the microphone. That's why I'm sweating, James. I've had ready. I would have used a lot more choice words, but I was on a live stream and I couldn't. But yeah, fucking firewood. How you doing? How did you get all that rubber laid out? I haven't caught up on your videos yet. Whether you got that out yet or not. Yeah, I was just trying to set it up, and I was writing in my name, and I spelt it wrong. Just as I was about to click enter, and Andrew's like, well, I'm done. I'm like, no, I'm almost there. Shibe, how's it going, buddy? Cheers. Finally got it working.
We're back at her now.
We're back. You probably don't even need the headphones now, Andrew.
They probably don't. I'll see if we can turn them off.
I bet you could see a lot of those. Those
oh, there we go. That is better. What's that?
Jeffrey saying seeing a lot of F-bombs. Reading lips.
I got to give it to the guys that do this on the road. That is really hard to do that with one person talking to yourself. That is.
Oh yeah.
Hats off to Dan at Back 40 and Brad does them. I've seen Shive do them. I've seen you do a couple. That is impossible to talk to yourself almost.
Yeah, it takes a lot, but having people, you did well. Like anytime I was still listening, like you got everything out that we were going to talk about in the live stream. So I missed most. I'll have to go back and rewatch it to hear what you said.
I never thought I could talk to myself for that long.
I do it for half the day, and usually I'm cursing at myself for something silly I did, like pinching a saw.
yeah, I run into that too. Yeah, I think we all do that one. How's the team on the processor working for you?
Good, working good. Yeah, happy with it. No complaints. Lots of room for the
close together. Do you like that more? Or?
Oh yeah, that's way better, especially with the smaller stuff.
Yeah, it
That
is.
makes a
Yeah.
huge difference. Everything
And then,
sits in there nice. So
and then most of the wood now just falls right at the back of it. Like there's nothing plugging up or binding up or nothing anymore, right? Like it's
yeah, a little bit, but it's getting the rust and stuff off the wedge to get, everything working nice. I think
yeah,
that's kind of what's happening right now, but we're in some tops and stuff, so that stuff can be a bit fussy as well, just how they fall in and straight cuts and that, but
yeah,
it works
100%.
good. I like it.
All right,
And
now
the
that's good.
rollers, I find the rollers work way better.
Yeah, they grab a lot better, right? You don't have the ones land on their face and stand up in there, right? Like you don't run into that near as much.
Not once or twice, and that's only because if you have it laying straight across, you can just open the tip door.
Or a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and that just gets them spinning and close it and carry on. So
Yeah.
that I really like. So it's just getting into the swing and just getting into that groove, and then everything's. We've only run a couple doubles through it, so
Yeah, you guys are getting back into firewood here this spring, though, are you?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Fire right back up, are you?
yeah. We got a couple. Well, we got two truckloads through it now. By now, so kind of jumping between that and our logging job to get it done. So it's been a bit,
How's
but
the logging job? It's high and dry, is it?
yeah, we're lucky enough.
All right,
It's
now that's good.
like gravel. The main trail is like gravel, and then the bush it drains because we're quarries on either side of it, so everything just drains. Basically,
that's
we're on
good.
limestone. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
You're gonna have much better this time of year.
No, like we got real lucky with our jobs this year. We didn't get to the ones we wanted to with all the firewood, but we were able to stay busy with all the good ground we got. So
And that's that job that's the second time you guys have cut that bush too, eh?
yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty cool feeling, eh?
Oh yeah. See that you remember spots where you at where whatever happened, a giant pile of gardener snakes, shit like that, right? Like you remember those spots where you were, you're like, too cold for you today, snakes.
Dad said that too. He said by the time that he was done logging, he cut a handful of bushes like 3 or 4 times almost.
Yeah.
And been able to go back through and to just keep going.
Yeah. It's they'd cut it a lot heavier, but because the public are going there all the time, they don't want it completely giant holes to get the oak re-going. People will just start crying about it, and they're like, we just don't want to deal with it, so they should be on oak regeneration, but it's you know how it is. You got to get light to the ground, and it's just not going to happen in it.
World of difference.
Yeah,
world of difference. Nothing grows unless the sun shines on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, James, what are we up to in the woodyard? Well, we're in and out of the woodyard like we were just talking about. So, trying to get in that bush happens to be 10 minutes around the corner. So, we work half a day and do something else the other half if we have to, and bag deliveries. And
so you guys mostly just do bags, do you, Kev?
No, we're mostly bulk, probably.
But like you guys don't do any of the bundles at all? I was
No,
just telling the guys that we're making a really nice bundle right now.
It's funny. Pete was talking about that. He'd almost say he'd rather do bundles, but it's up to him what he wants to do, right?
Yeah. I don't know if there'd be a right or wrong. Well, what do you guys have for filling the bags? Do you guys have one of those tipper trays, dudes?
Yeah, the ones that you can get from Bag Supply.
Yeah.
And it works good. It's what do you want? More leeway, I guess, when you're doing bundles with size difference, right?
I don't know if there's a right or a wrong there or what. I don't know. It's hard to say. Now I know lots of guys like doing the bundles just because they stack neater on a pallet. Like they don't really kind of want to fall near as much. But
yeah,
the bags are a nice neat package too. So it's hard to say on that end of it.
Yeah, it's almost like area dependent, like whether you're still and husky or bags and whatever, right? So I don't know. I haven't seen. I caught a little bit of what you were doing on that bundler and how it was a little bit different.
Yeah. So it's got like most of the bundlers, I think they have like a more of an industrial motor and like a belt that runs and kind of comes up, and they're kind of a honestly, I think they're kind of a sloppy setup. Where the way that we have this set up, like it's a motor and then there's a gearbox that's integral to the motor, so it's like a 40-to-1 motor,
Yeah.
and there should be like a really small section of chain or belt that actually drives it. So it should be a really nice setup on that end of it. It's funny. Brad fired at the furnace. We were talking about putting a hot knife on it for cutting handles, but we're not quite sure if we're going to get to that point or not. But that would be kind of handy to be able to do that. You can cut your handles, put it on your bag all at the same time, right? So
Yeah, that'd be handy.
yeah.
We got Brad. Cheers. Probably won't see it. I'm actually ahead, Brad. So Taylor's 16th birthday. Happy birthday. Cheers.
Yeah. I seen that. They're heading out to the concert there tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
We saw Mike DeBoer, the sawdust chute on the new processor. The sawdust chute is the same. I don't think there was any change on that. You guys
We
said.
haven't seen on that end of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of 6 to 1, half dozen the other on the sawdust. We find we either have guys that want it to fall close to the machine or further away from the machine. So I think with the turn down, being able to remove it so easy, it kind of looks after that end of it, right?
Yeah. It's not I think ours we wanted, or we're talking to Jeremy, getting it closer to the blade to catch more coming off the saw.
Yeah, we've changed. I don't know if Gage has done it on the bigger machines. On the 40, it's a really nice setup.
Yeah.
Like it's all tucked in together. It's a really good setup on the 40 there. So I think we'll probably end up doing that on the bigger machines before too long, anyways. So
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything, the least you get underneath, the better, right? The less cleanup
Right.
you got.
And that's the biggest part of all of it, right? Like I've seen guys that have like manure cleaners under them and
Yeah.
setups that look like they would work really nice for that. So
Yeah, that would be. I've seen there was one posted there. It had that big cleanup underneath. Like that'd be
Yeah.
handy, but you'd have to be stationary, right? The guys that move around all the time, it's somewhat of a pain. But
And then like Mark's found some pretty cool setups too, like guys that have had them up on stilts and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
there's a fella up just south of Sault Ste. Marie, really nice guy. I can't remember what his name is though, but he has an 8000 that's up on it's got to be 8 feet in the air.
oh wow,
Like, way up in the air, but you can almost drive a skid steer under it. Like it's a really cool setup. Like I can't remember the guy's name is. He's a really nice guy, and we came up to Escanaba.
Yeah, it's what was the other thing? When the log moves around, depending where it's sitting in that chute, if it's right against the back, it shoots up higher and stuff. So it's not every log's the same that sits in that tray, right? On the infeed. So, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. You're cleaning up something anyway, so at the end of the day, it's
just where it is, right? It's just the byproduct of it. So
yeah. How's that splitter going for Dude Ranch?
I think it's working pretty good for Jake. I think it's working good. We've sold quite a few of them. We did an initial production run of them. Like we're trying to build them all in. We're trying to do like a run of like 10 at a time sort of thing. And the first batch of them, we sold them within a couple of days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're a nice setup. Like they're not going to have quite the power as the bigger ones, but even at that, like if you even just need to nip the top of like a big gnarly piece at first to get it busted open, I think it's going to work great for people. They don't weigh very much. They're only about 400 pounds maybe.
Yeah.
So like to put it on the front of a machine, and like I was running on the end of the JCB there Thursday, and like with a high flow on it, and like it flies. Like you might almost be able to replace a normal splitter with it. Probably not quite in terms of production and performance, but if you were like a one-man show and like doing boiler wood or just wanted to tinker around for think it's 2,500 US shipped anywhere into North America, the continental US or Canada. Like you're not going to beat that. That's a really good price, and it's a tried and true system, right? It's just our axis. So
Yeah, that's good. I'd like to see that, check that out up close to see, get a better look at one of them. James, how's the backyard cleanup going?
well, we cleaned it up in the fall. We got it all tidied up, but now it's a mess again. So I've got a video coming up of that MS 324. I was hoping to have it up before this video, but it'll be up probably Monday or Tuesday. So it will like you'll be able to see like where the skids are. Like I've got my dump trailer's been getting a safety on it for like a month now. I don't know why, but we got to get the skids and everything cleaned up there. But other than that, the yard's not too bad. We got a little bit of cleaning up to do, but not too much. And then if it's the back of my house here, it's pretty well done too. Like it's that was a big job here, was cleaning up a bunch of blowdown and storm stuff here. We got all the stumps pulled, and I've got a spot to hunt again, and the boys have a spot to ride their four. There's a couple of Polaris four-wheelers this week for them, a couple 110s. So
oh yeah, I'm sure they're loving that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we had a couple of electric jobs before that, like smaller, like offshore ones, and they worked really well. The hardest part is that Jack's getting too big for them now, and they're just, you always chase them around. Like you're always chasing batteries around. You're always screwing with them. We're like, the new ones are all EFI. You shouldn't really have to touch them. They just should be able to touch the key and go. So
yeah. Buckin says Fleming has one with a jacked up bells.
yeah, so John Fleming is who Buckin and Mark said had the 8,000 bells that was up on the stilts.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool setup that John's got there. I don't know if you ever taught him or not, but he's got a really cool setup. Nice job he did on it.
I don't think so, but I've seen some pictures of one where the guy had it like way up. And I can't remember if that was it or not. It was just pictures that were sent to me. And then Mark says Luke Tardif.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he just got I think Luke just got a 48 or 62, a brand new one just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Also, before I forget, if anybody hasn't seen, or everybody who's here now, it's been a disaster at the start of this. But for Nuts 319, they were doing how come I can't think of my words? They're basically doing a little get together raffle. There's like raffle draws and stuff that's going on May 4th. Doing a fundraiser for them. And that will be in Pennsylvania, in Corsica, I believe, at the fire hall is where they're going to have it. We got some prizes. Steve Billows, he's donated the chainsaw that he used on Axeman. So that will be there. I think that's a 660 that he donated for that. And then there's another chainsaw that's coming up for donation. And there's going to be a whole bunch of other prizes. And anybody else watching this wants to donate or come, just get in contact with myself or Stump Jumper Videos, and we can help you out. My email's in the description of all my videos, so just hit me up with an email and let me know on that. But yeah, it should be good. Sounds like there's going to be lots of people there. So, and it's going to a great guy who's always out helping everyone with Eastern loggers and helping Ninja loggers and stuff, and now he's the one in need. So,
and when did you say that was, the 3rd and the 4th of May?
The May 4th.
May 4th.
Saturday.
Yeah,
I believe there's a show in Vermont, I think, that weekend.
There is. I was trying to figure out whether that was going to be the one in Virginia or the one in Vermont. I was going to try and make it to it if I could, so I don't think I'll be able to go in Vermont. So yeah,
bummer it falls on that, but yeah, like already it sounds like it's going to be a good turnout, and we've got some good prizes already. So keep that going, and then we got big things coming for Eastern Loggers and Bunions. So stay tuned for that one too. That will be announced later.
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah, so lots of good
Hope-
stuff going on.
Hopefully, get a good turnout for Pete. That'd be really nice to see.
Yeah,
He's-
he's
he's
doing
a-
pretty good.
he's a super
His
nice
knees.
guy.
What's that?
He's just a super nice guy. Like he's a really, really good guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's great. He's always been great to like us, either the family, everything. My boys when we saw him, or well, I guess it was just Connor at that time. Always great and always giving. Like it's just give, right? You know, we're
Yeah.
down there. He's always like, won't let you pay for supper and stuff. I'm like, just let me pay. It's okay. And no, you're my guest here. I'm paying. So he's a super nice guy. And so it'd be nice to get down and see him. I talk to him at least 2 or 3 times a week. So, but he's doing good. He's healing. His back's doing a lot better. His knees giving him a bit of problems, but he needs physio. I think we'll get that straightened out. But
Yeah, I think it needs one of those things that's really, really tricky. You got to make sure that you're moving and doing stuff, and especially in a situation now where you're so banged up, you got to focus on one thing or the other, right? So
yeah, and it's everything. It was all everything at once, and you can't just everything kind of sits because the back's no good, or like you got to
Yeah.
rest it, and you can't work the knee. So he's working on it.
yeah, my grandfather had the same thing happen to him when he was probably Pete's age. He was probably 40. He had him another guy. My grandfather always worked in the bush too. I think they were using crosscuts. That's how long ago it was. But they were cutting a tree, and it barber chaired on him and landed on top of him.
Shit.
And this is back in the early '60s when this happened. And at that point, they're far enough away from the hospital where they live anyways. He just went home and he laid on the couch for 3 or 4 months until they could move again. It wasn't until about 20 years ago he went to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor asked him what he did to his back, and he said, "Oh, well, this." I was like, "You fucked yourself up pretty bad. Like you were in rough shape." He said, "I know." That I was laid up for a long time because of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow, that's crazy.
You gotta keep it happens pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been. You know, you get lucky and you can get away in time. It's happened to the best of us, right?
Oh, 100%. And it's one of those things that it's like the odds are definitely against you if you're in this business and falling behind, and even if you're doing mechanized, like the odds are against you. Like even growing up as a kid, like for most of the guys that had worked in the bush, it says that somebody had something at one point or another, whether it be a chainsaw bite them or a tree or something like that. It's not even a matter of if a lot of the times, but when, right? So
yeah, it's. I just saw in Eastern Loggers. There's another guy, 27 years. I think it was 27 years in the bush, and
yeah, I seen that. A lot of us 59. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sad. So, yeah, Bill, don't worry. I just showed up too, so it's not. I think I've been here 10 minutes. And yeah, we forgot Ohio Woodburner. He's got his show coming up. What day is that? May 8th.
It's the middle of May sometime. You're going down to it, are you?
Yes.
You and James?
Me and James. James, my chauffeur.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh, yes. I get to look out the window now. I don't have to drive. I'm usually always driving.
Well, that's good. That's good. I think that'll be a really good turnout of Joe's show. Looks like there's going to be a lot of people there. And then the Hoosier Fire with Hysteria is coming up too. That's in Indiana. So there's a couple of good. Virginia on the docket too. It's coming up in another 3 weeks, I suppose. And then we have Northeastern Forest Products Expo same weekend as Pete's singing. May 4th, I guess. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, James, May 18th. So May 2-4 for us. I think we're running down Saturday morning, and then we'll come home Sunday. That's the plan.
yeah.
So
You guys aren't that far down to Cortland, though. Eh? You guys are 4 or 5 hours.
I think 4 and a bit, I think, from my place. So we're not too bad. I think we're 3.5 to Erie.
Well, that's not bad then.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. I think we're about 8 hours down. I'm not quite sure what the plan is yet, but I know we're bringing a couple of machines down to the show, and there's a couple of spots available. We got a new delivery truck on the road, so Mark's going to be in the delivery truck. So we'll have room to bring splitters down to that for guys that want to have they'll save freight on anyways. The same as in Indiana of Hoosier Firewood area. There's a couple of machines there that are available. Mark's actually in Virginia right now. He's going to be on the western side of Virginia. So if anybody wants to talk about firewood gear, Mark's the guy to talk to. Get a hold of Forrester Link, and Mark will we'll run you through what's available and what's out there. And he's seen a pile of stuff. He's been doing a lot of good work and seeing what's going on in the industry. So he's a good guy to talk to and bend his ears. So
yeah, it's a good place, good show for him to go to. We have Bionic Life. Anybody want to shoot a 50 cal? Sure. Oh yeah. Oh, that would be good.
Fucking Firewood says he's 8.5 down to the Firewood Expo.
To the internet. Where's the international? Is that Joe's show? That's Joe's show. That's right.
I'm surprised he can get down from Espanola in 8.5 hours. Because I'm almost that line. I guess it depends on which way you're going. There's a big lake in the way there, but
well, he'd be like 4.5 to my house, give or take.
Yeah.
Or would he go the other way, up and around?
Well, if he can, like from my place, I'm about 8 hours down to Joe's, so he'd have to be going the other side of the lake down by Niagara by you guys.
I would think
Niagara, what is?
Yeah. We go Niagara way. I was just wondering if he'd go up to the Sioux and come down, but that's the wrong way.
Yeah, that would take quite a while. He'd probably still 2.5, 3 hours of Sioux, I would think.
Yeah, he says 4 hours to Toronto.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because I'm 3 hours to my cottage, and he's like an hour 20, I think, from my cottage. So that's right. He's pretty close. He'd be a little bit longer, I think. Well, I guess it depends how fast you drive. Yeah. Well, he says his range isn't too far from Joe's place.
Well, there you go. We can all make a day out of it. Have I got any? No, most of the bottles behind me are full. I've got a special one here. Actually, I've had this one for a while.
Virginia Lightin' corn whiskey.
Yeah, and you can see how much is out of the bottle. I had a fellow the last time we were in Richmond, which was 5 years ago, give me that, and he seemed like he was a local guy, a really nice guy. He was running the log loader there for us and loading us all up, and that's about how much we've been able to drink so far.
I didn't see the percentage on that. What's the percentage on that?
50%. It's on 100 proof.
Yeah.
It's potent stuff anyways, so.
I see you got the Jaeger back there for some Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, I got the Jaeger back there. I've got some tequila. I don't even drink this stuff. I don't. Just here for the sake of entertainment, I guess. I got some Absolute for Jerry Cole. Did some crown. I've got a bit of everything actually. There's not too much I haven't got there.
Some Fireball. Always need Fireball.
Yeah, everybody always wants Fireball. I'm not quite sure why they want it, but for some reason they want it. They can't stand this stuff.
Yeah. Bill, Irwin, Andrew, any plans to offset a splitter once you had a larger quick attach plate to fit tractors and skid steers for better visibility?
Yeah, 100%. It's already set up like that. So we have the skid steer plate, and then the splitter bolts to the skid steer plate. So depending on what you're running, you'll put it on one set of holes or the other to offset it one way or the other. So if you bought one now, that's why you'd be getting it anyways. So, because that was the worst thing when I put it on my tractor, you just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
If you had something big, you could run it all right, but once you got into something smaller, it was kind of a pain in the ass. But when it's offset like that, I think you legitimately run on the front of a compact tractor pretty easily.
Okay, James from Facebook. I don't know why these don't come through because they should. Have you tried a wear surface between the guides of the pullback arm and the top of the wedge?
Well, we haven't yet. I haven't really seen too many of them that actually had a whole pile of wear yet, and it would be concerning on that end of it. So, and like both pieces are easily replaced. The pullback arm itself, like that part of it's replaceable fairly easily if it wears out. And then the wedge itself, I don't think you'd actually see it wear right through or wear to a substantial amount. Anyways, it's just friction and gravity, right? There's not really anything more than that to it. So
yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be that much wear on with that back. Even like a little piece of nylon on the back would stop it, I would think.
Yeah, and I don't think you'd ever, like, if you put a piece of nylon on there, you have one other thing you got to worry about, right? You'd have to worry about a piece of nylon coming off and staying on there. So it's not. I don't think it would be worth it.
Yeah. What's going on with the 40C? I missed that part.
Well, I've got to stay a little tight-lipped on that end.
Okay.
We're maybe trying to get a patent on a couple parts on it. I don't know if we're going to be able to because there's a couple other systems that are close to it. So yeah. I don't know if we're going to be able to patent it or not. But they've told me to shut up. So, I'll know more on Monday, anyways. I don't know if we're going to go through with it or not. But that's going to be the machine to beat. And like you'll likely see a lot of the stuff that we've done on the 40C get integrated onto the big ones the next year or so. Yeah, because it works out nice. It is slick. It is an amazing machine to run. Anybody can run it. Almost no operator skills required.
Wow. So I'll be able to run this one then.
Oh yeah, you'll have no problem at all. It's one of those things. Like people think a fiber processor is a fairly simple piece of equipment, but until you've run one, like there's quite a bit to it, right? It's pretty involved to get the stuff to roll right, lay in there right, where to set the wedge. So it's with this here, it should essentially cut and split a block and drop it behind the pusher with minimal effort. And like the double chain infeed on it works really, 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 really nice. Like it is a nice. That works really good. It's far better than I thought it was going to be. So,
well, that's good. I was wondering about that, whether you go back to the belt or stay with the chain, or
we couldn't get the belt to run right.
Yeah,
we fucked with it and fucked with it. I bet we screwed around with it for 3 or 4 weeks trying to get it to run right, and like we get it close, and then it won, and then we get it close, and then it won, and it was just such a pain to do. We tried lots of different things. Like we tried like putting rollers through the bed of it. Like I cut a pile of stuff apart, put rollers in it myself. There one weekend. We'll try that and see if it works. Like the belt, if we could get it to run on the belt and consistently, it would be really good because it'd be really smooth, it'd be almost perfect. But it was so hard to get it to work right. I think what happens with it is when a log comes in, it grabs on the belt and then shifts at the side.
Yeah.
I don't think you see it on like the European ones, like the Yappas and stuff, just because the belt's only that wide and that long.
It's
So I
sitting
don't-
flat. It's sitting flat too, right? It's
Oh,
not on that.
they're on a bit of an angle, but not very
Oh,
much.
they are?
Yeah.
I haven't taken a real good look at the Yappas, so
Yeah.
I'll have to when I was down at Joe's take a good look at his just to see how that's sitting.
Yeah, and like the nice thing about that is that you can have like the tip tray and the belt be almost the exact same height, and there's no tipping or rocking. And that's what's really nice about the double channel. You know, you get the last piece of wood on the last 3 or 4 feet, and wants to turn sideways or wants to tip or whatever. With the double chain, it doesn't do that. It stays perfectly flat the whole way through. So that last little bit of the log is, and the blade on it too, like that little blade that's on it, awesome. Absolutely love it. We've got it running like perfectly true now, and it cuts incredibly fast. It's not aggressive. It's just there's an awful lot on that machine that I'm glad we've taken the time to get it right, because it is going to change the way a lot of things are done. And I know a lot of people look at things. So
Well, that's good, and that's what you got to do sometimes. If something new, is just slow down and
yeah, and like
Fine.
for all intents and purposes, the first machine we've ever really built that we've taken the time to do a lot of development as we're building it. Like instead of as we've sold them, like, and I think that's going to be a lot better for customers. And again, like now that we have that, to be able to integrate some of those systems onto our new ones, like onto the bigger ones, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah. Will you be able to retrofit it onto the old ones, or does it have to be a new one?
No, it would have to be a new one. It would be fairly complex to do it on that.
Okay, I'm asking questions. I have no idea what it is, though.
Pete's 48. See, I'll be here next week.
Well, you never know. Anybody that owns an older machine, can they update it, right? Or do they have to upgrade?
We've changed kind of the control system on it, so we went with a different group of people on the control system on this one, which has been really nice because they're local. Like they're literally their shop's 500 yards from us across the field. Like if you go out the back door past Albany, they're on the other side of Albany. So it's really nice to have them there, and they're a really sharp bunch of guys. Like Rick's really good, Owen's really good. We've been really lucky to have those guys. The reason we found them is through Stonemaker.
Oh, okay.
Like that's how we found them on the automation. I mean, they've done a little bit of work with like Grenville Castings. Rick's done some work with Grenville Castings. He's already had a relationship with the Grenville guys that are at the shop. But he's done a lot of stuff with robotics, a lot of stuff with automation, and like there's a lot of things that like even like sensors to measure the wood. Like we're pretty confident we're gonna be able to have like a cordometer on the machine that has it'll tell you how many cords of wood you put through the machine in a day and an hour in any given time with incredible accuracy.
Yeah.
And like we've tried out probably 3 or 4 different sensors to do that, and we think we've got one that's going to work really well now. So like just stupid little stuff like that until you run it for a couple of days and work through the little problems, you don't really know if it's going to work or what, right? So that's kind of what's been taking the most time with it, is figuring all that little stuff out, right? So
so you'll be able to put in 4 cords an hour minimum.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You might even do 8. But you're gonna have to buy the Axe Master though, because the Cord Master is not going to do it for you. Have you seen the Axe Master yet?
Oh, me? Oh yeah, I've seen it. Has everyone else seen it?
I got a pretty good kick out of that the other day. I've seen them before that, but that was the first time I've ever seen it provoked like that. Anyway, so I got a pretty good kick out of that.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see where that goes.
I don't know if they've only built one of them, or if they've built a handful of them. I don't know. Like because I've seen them before. Like, and I think I've seen them for a couple of years, but I've never like seen them out on the market at all. Like, but I don't. I think that's one of the only machines I've ever seen so blatantly copied in in this industry, anyways. Like literally not for not.
Nah,
Like even the cast iron bearings on the saw.
yeah. I don't know. I think there's another one that's a pretty close copy too. I don't know the
Yeah.
name of it, but it.
I think there's a couple out there, but that one there is one that really stands out for me.
Yeah, I haven't had a good look at the other one, but I've seen it and just looks very similar to a blue one that was built to a Bell's.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
No, I don't know, the guy would probably kick me out of his yard if I actually went in there, but
like down in your neck of the woods.
oh yeah. Yeah.
I've got a good idea. I've got a good idea who it is.
Yeah. So I don't know the name, but I know the guy who owns it. I don't know the name of the company that makes it, but I think you do, or Mark does.
Yeah, Mark would know what was going on that end of it.
Oh, he knows everything that's going on.
Yeah,
I can basically
Mark,
see some guy with a processor and message him, and he'll know. Oh yeah, that's so and so.
Yeah, Mark's got his finger on the pulse. He's pretty good at market research and figure out where stuff's going, how it's going, and
Yeah.
so he's
crazy driving around. You see processors here and there and here.
yeah, and he's been like his last job, he did a lot of that, right? Like he did a lot of traveling. So like even in his last job, he knew what was like where to look for the stuff too, right? He had a pretty good idea where to find it, especially in Ontario and Western Quebec, right? So
Yeah. Because that's where he was out of, isn't it? Or where he used to work?
yeah. I used to work for Ryko Hoses. He was a sales manager for them, so he traveled a lot. He was always on the road, and he likes doing that too. Mark enjoys doing that. He's out Virginia right now on a bit of a holiday, and then he's going to see some guys over Western Virginia, see if anybody wants to see what's going on there, just to drum up stuff for next month, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. How's it going, Kyle? Kyle in the house? Cheers. Well,
Are the boys all done hockey now, Kev?
it's finally for a few weeks. And then floor hockey and lacrosse starts.
Oh yeah, have they done lacrosse yet?
Last year was the first year.
All right, on.
So
That's a violent sport. I started playing lacrosse. I was probably 15 or 16. I played lacrosse for a season. It was just the whole thing was a fist fight.
Oh
Especially
yeah. I was pretty close to that age the first time I watched lacrosse, and I was like, "What is going on here?" Just so used to hockey, right?
Yeah.
So totally different. But
We've been having eastonmade hockey every second Friday. So everybody at the shop goes out. We rent the rink Atlantic for an hour or hour and a half out there. So we've been having Friday afternoon eastonmade hockey, which has been pretty fun. That's the first time. It's the first time I played hockey since Jack was born. So it's probably been Jack's birthday's today, so that's 9 years.
Oh well, happy birthday, Jack!
Yeah, Jack turned 90. We were at a karate tournament today. That was a lot of fun. If you got to look up a red man suit.
Man suit.
Yeah, Jackson got the gold medal in the red man suit, and Ashton got the silver medal in the red man suit. So what it is it's like goalie equipment.
Yeah.
They put on like this big foam goalie equipment, and the kids beat the snot out of them. They get points for how many punches they land on the guy and where they punch him. So the boys got gold and silver in that today. They're pretty excited about that.
Well, that's good. They're gold and silver.
Yeah. I think that's all Dad. Dad wrestles with them a lot, and he's like their punching bag. So
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not much of a hockey fan, but I love watching Canadians watch hockey. Just I got the score coming up on my phone, so I know what the Leafs are doing.
Oh, who are the Leafs? They're hockey team, are they? Or?
Yeah. Easy there. We don't need any slappers at the hash mark and an empty net.
Oh, what a carry on, eh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, was your dad at that game?
I don't know. If it was in Ottawa, Dad probably was. Yeah, Dad
Yeah.
doesn't miss. Very, very, very few.
No,
Very, very few.
pretty sure it was Ottawa. Can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah.
I've only been down to a couple of games this year. I think I went down to one in the fall, and I was at one there a couple of weeks ago. So
Yeah. Yeah, we were going to try to get to Pittsburgh, but I think we're going to wait till next year and take Connor down to a Pittsburgh game there.
oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Me and Jeremy went to we got tickets from one of our suppliers to go to a Leafs game. So me and Jeremy took the girls down to a Leafs game there the one night, and that was pretty nice. I've never been to a Leafs game before, like down in Toronto. So
Yeah.
it was a really neat setup, like compared to Ottawa, how they had it set up with Union Station being right there. You pretty well walk into the arena, and it's pretty good setup.
Yeah. So where did you catch the train to go down, or how?
Yeah, you know what? We took the Via train right out of Smith Falls.
Oh, okay.
It was snowing really, really bad that day. So the girls said, well, why don't we just take the train down? So it's like, whatever, we'll book tickets for the train tomorrow. And like it snowed like crazy, but the train was right on time, and we just hopped on the train in Smith Falls and went all the way to Union Station, and our hotel was right there and dinner was right there, and it worked out really good. It was a pretty good time at it. So
Yeah, I haven't been down to Toronto for a Leaf game, and it's been a few years now. 10, 12 years. I went to a pile of games when they're in the Gardens.
oh yeah, that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, I played right as soon as the Leafs finished in the Gardens. We played just like pickup game there. So you got jerseys and everything. That was pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, but sad to see that go.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
James said I would have taken you to the Fox. My office is connected to the arena. I think we actually might have went to the Fox afterwards. I think we might have actually been to the Fox, James. I think that might have been actually part of the trip, as James Mason said we had to go to the Fox. So I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was a Fox, and I know we went somewhere after the arena for a couple of years. So
his office is connected. Huh. I didn't realize he was that downtown.
Oh, that would suck.
Oh,
the place is always busy. Downtown Toronto is just like a rat race.
oh, and that is the number one reason why I don't want to go to a Leaf game down there. One of them.
Oh, it's nuts. It's always nuts. I don't know.
And the price.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the tickets were worth. We got them from the place that we buy the steel from, and I wouldn't have wanted to buy them otherwise. We were like top of the first level bowl.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We went to Guelph Storm game, me and the boys, and you can basically get 4 tickets and a $25 coupon for the concession for $96.
Can't go wrong with that.
And parking's $5.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're watching good hockey too, right? Like
yeah, oh yeah.
I would almost rather watch amateur hockey a lot of the times than professional hockey.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's more entertaining.
Yeah. James figures those are $400 tickets.
Yeah, probably pretty close to it,
yeah. Kyle, Andrew Easton is Bell's and eastonmade company.
Well, I guess so. I sort of like that, yeah. That's a Bell's firewood processor right there. That was Dad's company. So when I bought Bell's firewood processors off Dad about 3 years ago, and that's how I got into the firewood processor game. Before that, I just did splitters. So, and that was a sign that was out front. That was the out front sign that was on the middle of the lawn out at Bell's where eastonmade is now. So I've got one side of it. Dad's got the other side of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That's a perfect spot for it.
Mine's a little bit more beat up. You can see like the E's kind of chipping and the L's got a bit of a line in it. Dad got the good side. So he's got his side hung up in his garage too. So
yeah, I heard that. Well, that's quite what I was saying. I think when you couldn't hear me, trying to talk Pete into coming up and swinging by the shop and checking that out in the next few weeks. I think if I can talk him into it. If I can talk Pete into coming up, and we got to pick up that head still in Perth or wherever, just north of Perth, I guess it is.
yeah.
So see if Pete wants to run up there, and we'll swing by, give you the heads up.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be good. You guys won't be far from us at all.
No, I think it's only 20 minutes outside of town where the guy is. So
yeah, no, he wouldn't be far. No, not at all.
No. So try to talk Pete. It's Pete trying to talk him into it. So no, just give me the truck and trailer. I'll go.
Yeah, I hear you.
What fucking say? Paid $2,400 for season opener. Montreal 3 rows up from Toronto bench. Wow, once in a lifetime.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, not cheap.
It'd be fun to see a Montreal game too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess I've kind of been spoiled. Dad's had the same seats at the arena for 20 years.
Yeah.
He's had them for a long time. They're literally one row off the ice, right behind the goalie on the Senators end. It's right there. So I've always been spoiled and had really good seats anyways. And Dad's, like I said, he's had them forever. That's Dad's thing. That's what he always enjoyed. So
Yeah, they've like the pricing there is a lot better than Toronto too.
oh, big time. It'd be a quarter of the price easily.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah, it's crazy. Andrew, love the splitter, but I bent the pullback arm on the first hour running the 1222 I got last week.
What happens if you don't pay attention? You're gonna bench it. That's just one of those things, I guess. We've had a handful of guys bend them before, and it's normally if somebody is either not paying attention and maybe get something jammed on the wedge and the pullback arm, something's got to give, or if they have something too big in it, we use out the side of it. Like a lot of the guys on YouTube, if you watch, they talk about that a lot about paying attention to what's going on there. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, things go fast. Like same within the processor. Like you get into that rhythm, you're going quick, and you got to be on paying attention to what's
100%.
going on.
Machines are fast. You got to be paying attention to what happens. Like I've seen a handful of them do that, and it's normally again when the guy first hits the machine and isn't paying attention to what's going on. But you got to have some respect for the machine and watch what's happening there. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you want to wrap her up?
sure.
You had a long night running this show, so
It's 10 to 10 already. We did another hour after that. We're doing all right.
yeah. Oh yeah, I had to catch up. You had to repeat everything. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. Sorry about the giant disaster with audio here, but we got her figured out 45 minutes in, I think. And yeah, we'll have another one. We'll see what we can work out, and we'll get I got some guests lined up, so we'll get some more guests going on this and get this carrying on. We took a little break from it, and kids playing hockey and sports, and
It's always busy.
Christmas.
Lots going on.
yeah, so we'll get back at her. So again, thanks everybody. See you at the next one.
Take care, guys.